a great weekend and a great Monday. First off, just want to thank everybody for all the kind anniversary wishes for me and the wife. We had a great time out Friday night. Went out to see, what was that concert called? The Harmonic. It was like a hip hop orchestra, or hip hop DJ, and then but the orchestra played the music. It was actually really, really, really nice. And then we had some, fun this weekend, just going out to eat and doing things like that. So thank you again for all the kind wishes. Um, that was my buffer filler time because it's going to be a really short recap for DR for today. But there are a couple things I wanted to talk about. But let's get the elephant in the room. We did not have a DR setup today. We had the setup, but we did not have any kind of confirmations, not even close to a confirmation. But again, a couple of things I want to talk about, and kind of how we can look at the market on days like this. Again, we got these debt ceiling talks that are kind of almost like putting everything on hold, but really what's happening is we're just consolidating, right? And so when you consolidate long enough, eventually you're going to break out one way or the other. So you just got to be ready for that. So let's talk about today, and again, we'll go through this real quick because no confirmations today. Had a 30-point range for DR, so was excited about that, but kind of had a premonition that we weren't gonna do much, and so I actually took two trades today. Neither one of them were DR related; they were ICT related, and I'll talk about one. This one. Well, first of all, let me talk about our friend 10 o'clock, right? So we always say around 10 o'clock we get a reversal, a price reversal. And if you look here, this was actually a 10.10 I think today. We had this bearish move all the way down, and then we set a DR low, and then as soon as we did that, we just kind of shot right back up and took that all the way back, way back above point 0.5 fib and all that good stuff. And so, if you're a little risky, you can actually, again, you can take this trade and say, okay, because I know it's going to reverse. Right? Once I see this kind of this big wick happening, then I'm a little more confident that I'm going to get some sort of reversal here. So anyway, so that was that's one thing could have done. I didn't do that, but that, again, I would look at that just to kind of make sure that what I'm telling you guys is correct. But back test it, you'll see that that works most of the time. Now, one trade I did take was an ICT trade, and so we had a bearish fair value gap that had formed on the way down. We actually had another one here, a really small one, but this one was a pretty big. Price comes back up, retest it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and so I actually put an order in at the bottom of this bearish fair value gap, and then just took quick 5 points off of that. So I think that was 4209, and again, didn't play around with it, didn't try to move my stop down, or my take profit down to 10 points. I just said, let me get my 5 and get out, because again, that's not my primary trading style, but having a feeling that we were going to be a little stagnant today with all the news that's coming out, I decided to just go ahead and just see if I could take that real quick. And so, again, got in at 4209, got out at 4204, and was like, okay, that's cool, I'm good. All right. And then we had all this wishy-washy stuff all day. Again, consolidation. Even lunchtime we normally get a move. We got a move, but it wasn't. It wasn't a setup. It wasn't set up the way that you could actually take that trade with any confidence. The second trade I took was actually in the afternoon, and I'm going to be honest. This was a gut trade. So meaning I really didn't have a structure in place. I decided I'm basically just following the trend. Now, in retrospect, and somebody has pointed this out to me, this actually was a afternoon silver bullet trade, and it's set up just in the way it should. If you put this on the 1 minute, you'll see that it actually had the silver bullet setup, and with the fair value gap. I just happened to jump in, and actually what I jumped in was this green candle, right? So I saw a price come down, went up a little bit. I put an order right here at 42.12, okay, for it to go down, because once it started coming back down again, that's where I put my order at, and took that down to 46.07. Again, not trying to play around, just getting in and getting out. Right, I'm a scalper at heart. I've told you that before, and that's a perfect scalp for me. So, 10 points for the day, but again, none of that was DR related. So, This is one of those times when, if you don't have another strategy you can go to, this is the day where you just kind of just let it play itself out. Okay. And again, there are different ways to play DR. So if you have a different way you want to look at it, that's okay too. But for me, and using DR and IDR and how I use them as the ladders and the different rungs on the ladder, nothing for me to do today from a DR standpoint. So that's it. Again, kind of just a consolidation day and a couple of scalp plays, but that's one was on purpose, one was let me see what happens, right? Because I already had 5 in the bag, and so here I put like a 2-point stop. So if I got stopped out, I still would have profit for the day. So, sometimes you just gotta play the odds. Okay, but anyway, I hope everybody had a great day again. The last thing I did want to mention, and I started looking at this for the last couple weeks. So I use ES to trade most of the time because, when I look at this, I'm either on my phone or I'm working, so I don't have time to like look at a bunch of different charts and things like that. But one thing I have been looking at is the NQ and applying DR to the NQ. And last week would have been phenomenal. Now you remember, now the NQ is $5 per tick, so that's what, $20 per point, versus the ES, which is $12.50 per tick and $50 per point. If you're playing the micros and divide by 10, right? So what's one thing you can look at is also look at NQ from a DR standpoint, because again, I did see last week where there were some opportunities and some pretty clear cut opportunities. So what's not, I did look at NQ today and it was the same as the ES, so we didn't miss anything today on that. But I encourage you to go ahead and back test that. Just take a look at it. Just apply your DR indicator to the NQ. Go back a couple of weeks and kind of see what it looks like. So, all right, but that's it, guys. I may start looking at that a little bit more, but again, right now I'm just kind of visually back testing it to see where I would get in and how it would play itself out. But you guys have a great night. Hopefully we get this debt ceiling thing done. We have what do we have tomorrow? We have news tomorrow. There's news all this week, so we could be in a little bit of a holding pattern. So just keep your head on a swivel. Don't force the trades. If you see your setup, take it, and kind of live with that. If you don't see your setup, keep your hands keep your hands to yourself and just sit on the sideline. That's what I plan on doing. So, all right, guys, be good. And any questions, drop them in the comments, and we'll talk to you later.